Hello, everybody. This is Angel Rebo, CEO, consultant, international public speaker, and also the president of Wisdom for Kids. And we are here at SoccerX today at the Wellness Universe area with Mark Murrison. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How is it going?
Doing great. It's the first time here at SoccerX, so we couldn't be more thrilled.
Awesome. So we're here to talk to something that is extremely innovative, and I think that people need this and need to know this and need to know much more about this. So let's start. What can you share? What can you share with the audience? Who's Mark Murrison?
Oh, so I'm the CEO of a company called NeuroCore. We are experts in brain performance. We've been doing this for more than a decade.
Okay.
We operate brain performance centers, 6 of them here in the U.S. We also have worked very closely with professional sports teams and actually had on-site brain performance sites there. And we worked with executives and business people and athletes from all around the world too.
What is that thing that you do that makes you unique, Mark?
So we're here talking about brain training, which we think is the next evolution of peak performance. So we're all kind of familiar with the idea of peak performance from a body perspective. But what people often forget is the brain is really the key driver of how we can perform. And the thinking is if your brain is not performing as well as it could, no matter how much training you're putting in, your technique, study that you put in, if your brain's not working as well, there's really like a glass ceiling that you keep hitting. We're here to help optimize your brain, to strengthen your brain, to give you a bigger, stronger, fitter brain tomorrow than you do today. And when you do that, you can shatter through that glass ceiling and really reach that untapped potential to get to your peak performance.
And why do you think that people have not been using this before?
Well, I think it's an emerging technology. We've learned more about the brain in the last 25 years than we have in the entire history of mankind. 25 years ago, it was thought that your brain couldn't change. Now we know it changes every single day. It's called neuroplasticity. 10 years ago, we didn't think the brain could actually even grow. And we now know the brain can grow at any age. Between 500 and 700 new neurons, new cells, new neuron cells in your brain are forming every single day. And there are things that we can do to nourish and nurture those so they grow and so you can have a bigger brain tomorrow. So it's really around the science that we've learned about how the brain works and then merging that with the emergence of technology that allows us to precisely train the brain.
And could you explain to our audience on Mindalia TV, how does that work?
Yeah, so what the first thing we do is we actually look at your brain. For most people, they've never seen their brain before. Right? So we use an imaging technique called quantitative electroencephalogram. So people may be familiar with the idea of an EKG for the heart. This is an EEG for the brain. And what we do is we put a cap on. It has 19 sensors on it, and it's able to pick up the electrical activity and the connectivity of your brain. And we're able, through advanced software and algorithms, to take all of this complex data about how your brain is functioning and turn that into a individualized, personalized brain map, where you can physically see in your map areas of your brain that may be working too fast, too slow, too hard, not hard enough. So you might see these areas in certain parts of the brain where they light up red or dark blue. And that signals to us those parts of the brain that we really need to focus on that are leading to the symptoms that many of us are dealing with, whether we're playing on the field or working in the boardroom. We're all dealing with something around stress, anxiety, mood issues, focus issues, sleep problems, memory problems. We can look at your individualized brain map and map that to the symptoms you have, and then we're going to precisely train those areas of the brain to help them get stronger. And the way we do that is something that's called neurofeedback, where we put those same sensors on the areas of the brain that have illuminated, where we can see that we want to train. In real time, those sensors are picking up the electrical activity of your brain. And when the brain is doing what we want it to do, we send a feedback loop that showed that says, do more of this. And when it's not doing what we want, we send a feedback loop, say, stop doing that. And the way we do that is you could be watching on a tablet or a screen, you could be watching a movie, you could be playing a video game. It will play when the brain's doing what we want, and it will be pausing. And what's happening over time at a subconscious level is your brain is actually learning. I mean, it's the same way we learn anything else. We're really using the biology of the brain's ability to change and grow to be able to teach us. So when we learn a new language, when you physically, if you were able to look at your brain, you would see these new neurons and neural pathways and synapses growing developing so you can actually learn and retain that language. It's the same way that we're doing this with our training of the brain into certain areas too. We're targeting those areas. We're giving that brain feedback loop to say, do more of this, less of that. So we're able to strengthen that brain. We may be in some areas speeding up the brain. We may be slowing it down. We may be having it work a little less or work a little bit more. But when we do that, you start to see your symptoms improve. You're feeling more calm. You're feeling more alert. You have more energy. Your memory is getting a little bit better. You stay really in that calm, alert, focused stage that we'd all love to be in, whether we're at work, dealing with our family, our kids, or on the field or in the boardroom.
In our brain, or analyzing our brain, how can we know which parts of the brain do we have to actually change in order to achieve peak performance?
Yeah, so that's really where our expertise comes in. So, people can come to our centers and we will do these brain maps. In time, we'll have, like I said, on-site locations, whether it's at companies or sports organizations, where we can have people come in and do the map. And sometimes we'll go to the individuals to do those brain maps. But at the heart of what we do is we need to look at your specific brain, and we have the technology to be able to create your unique brain map that will show us specifically where we need to work to make your brain a little bit stronger, a little bit better.
Is it possible to think that peak performance means a different thing for everybody?
Oh, absolutely, right? I mean, we all have kind of our idea of peak performance. I think the one commonality too is that we all, and some of us, if you're in sports, you have a different expectation versus if you're just a dad, or if you're a business person. But the one common thing we all have is we all need our brain to be working as best as it possibly can, right? And that's where, when we think about brain training and peak performance, it's not just for the highest level performers. It's for everybody. We worked with executives and athletes. We've worked with doctors. We've worked with thought leaders. We've worked with kids. We worked with moms. We worked with dads too. Everybody can benefit from a better brain. I think what the really exciting news that we've learned in the world of neuroscience is that it is possible to have a better brain tomorrow than you do today. And so we're bringing those new, those new learnings, those new discoveries to people so it's accessible and approachable.
I'd say I work a lot, and many of my colleagues, they are entrepreneurs who work with executives.
Yeah.
And they're coaches. And even here at SoccerX, there's a lot of coaches, people that try to change the performance of people. So typically executives are pretty busy people, sure, with a lot of things in their mind.
Yes.
So what would be a specific scenario? How would you work with an executive that wanted to improve his performance in general, his business? Does it make sense?
So
okay.
What we would do is, the individual's interested, it really starts with that brain map. We really need to come and get that individual brain map to see what's going on. Then from there, we'll build a personalized program. We'll know specifically what areas we want to train. And now we have the remote technology.
And how do you know that? How do you know which areas he has to train?
Because when you look at their brain map, you'll see it lighted up. So imagine a little image of a head, and you'll see bright red spots or green spots or dark blue spots. Those are telling us, signaling that the brain's working too much when you see these bright red spots, or way too little when you see these dark blue spots. We know that the way the brain is performing, the balance of the brain needs to be strengthened and improved in those areas. So the technology of using this QEEG, this quantitative electroencephalogram, where we're looking at the electrical activity and the connectivity of the brain, is what we're able to put up in a simple brain map that we can illuminate and know this is the area we want to strengthen. Once we have that brain map, we have the ability to customize a brain training program that uses neurofeedback. We now have the technology that we're showcasing here at SoccerX, where we can train anytime, anywhere, remotely. So we'll have our brain specialists that could be sitting anywhere, working with an executive or a player anywhere in the US or anywhere in the world too, who will walk them through the training program. And really, the technology really leads the way here. Once we know where we want to train and we get the sensors on the right place, the brain is doing all the work, right? The brain is telling itself, because we've set certain goals of what we want the brain to do. It's knowing that I need to do more of this and less of that, and it's controlling the device that you're watching. Right? When you watch a movie and the movie's pausing, or playing a video game and not getting the outcome that you want, it's because your brain is sending a signal and say, you need to do better here. And so this feedback loop is really what is allowing us to be able to see how the brain is actually strengthening. And what's really great, Angel, is at the end when we finish the program, we can look at the brain map again, and you can see how that brain has moved into a much more high performance state.
Exactly. I was going to ask you that question. And what do your users say about what has happened after they've been through the training?
Yeah. So we worked with NFL players, NBA players, we have PGA players. We've worked with executives, even parents, right, and kids, and they all say that, you know, almost uniformly, sleep. You know, I'm sleeping much better than I did. And, you know, the reality is, if we surveyed everybody, if they're going to tell the truth, everybody probably has a sleeping problem that they're dealing with. And if there is something close to a magic bullet in health, sleep is probably it, because we all are probably not getting the quality and quantity of sleep that we need. From a brain perspective, it's really fascinating that, you know, you need your 8 hours of sleep, because the first part of your sleep is really dedicated for the body to rebuild itself, rejuvenate itself, re-energize itself. And the last part of sleep is really about helping to improve how the brain performs too. Kind of from an evolutionary standpoint, that's important, because, you know, back in the time, our bodies had to be ready to go when a threat came upon us too. But what's also really fascinating to what we're learning now is that when we sleep, our brains actually shrink a bit, and you have these cells called microphages that come in, and think about those as janitors for the brain, right? And they're coming in and cleaning out the toxins and the plaques in the brain. And if you're not getting proper sleep, those little janitors can come in and clean out the brain too. In a lot of ways, people are starting to think that long-term dementia or even Alzheimer's may be tied to a buildup of these toxins because of long-term sleep deprivation too. That's one thing that we do really well when we're able to strengthen the brain. We're actually able to calm the brain down so that we're able to have almost uniformly, our clients are saying, I'm sleeping better. I'm more calm in stressful situations. I'm more rested. I'm more alert. I have more energy for that late afternoon meeting than, you know, versus that kind of the sluggish period that many of us feel too. So your body can feel it. You feel it in your body when your brain gets stronger as well.
What's your number one challenge?
Getting the message out to people. I mean, this is new. I mean, people don't typically think about the brain, right? That's not something that comes to mind when they think about my health and my wellness and my well-being and my performance. So it's really to bring this really exciting news about our really unique ability to help you get a stronger brain tomorrow than you do today. And we have the science that backs it up, and now we have the technology to deliver to anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Fascinating what you do and the effects, the impact that you achieve on the people's brains. But I would also like to know, what's the future? What's coming next?
Yeah, I mean, we'll continue to learn more. I mean, our goal is to make this really ubiquitous. We'd love to see brain training be as ubiquitous as you go to a gym. In fact, in a lot of ways, we think about NeuroCore as the gym for the brain. So just as people may go and work out their bodies on a daily basis, that's what we want to do. And we're trying to make it accessible and approachable to everybody. So if you live in a community that's near one of our brain performance centers, you can come in and do the training there. If you have a large organization, or whether it's a sports organization or a business, we can work with you to put an on-site center there to make it easy and accessible for your employees. Or if you live anywhere now, the technology allows us to do remote training. Once we get those brain maps, we can do the training from anywhere, wherever you are too, and connect you with one of our brain training specialists.
You to share with the audience, where are those centers that you just mentioned? Are those your own centers, or do you have a partnership with someone?
So there are our own centers. We call them NeuroCore Brain Performance Centers. It's really about helping improve the performance of each person's brains. We have 4 of them located in Michigan, which is where our company started, and we have 2 here in South Florida, one in Boca Raton and one in Palm Beach Gardens. Yeah.
Excellent. So where can we find you, Mark?
So the easiest place, you can go to our website. It's www.neurocore. And
would you mind spelling it?
Sure. Neuro, Neuro, Core, CORE, Centers, CENTERS.com. So you can Google NeuroCore, and you'll likely see it pop up as well. Just type in the name as well too. And perhaps there's a way we can get their phone number out for anybody who's interested to follow them.
Okay. So if they want to contact you, just go to the website.
Just go to the website.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. It's been fascinating, Mark. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's really exciting for us to be able to get this message out to people. It's been a great experience to share that with Soccer X universe, and really bringing what we do to the soccer world for the players and for the organizations and for the executives as well too. And we look forward to making this more well known to more people and more available to more people.
Absolutely. At Mindalia TV, we are all about human potential. So you are an absolute, highlight for us.
Thank you.
Being able to get to know more about this technology. And again, this is Angel Rebo with Mindalia TV. Thank you very much, everybody, for being with us today. Hope to see you soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.